going to be my first weekend workshop. And what are we making? Well, we're making a gargoyle using a method called intarsia. Well, sort of intarsia, but it's pretty darn close to it. I bought a new letterbox, and it needs a little bit, how to put it, a bit of pimping up, I think, because look at it, it's boring. It's a green box. So we need to do something with it. Now, I've already made a pine box for it to sit inside. That I have. So I've got my pine box that I made last night, just knocked it out quickly. I thought it was a bit boring. We don't really want to worry too much about that. So it's just a few pine boards that I've recycled from something I ripped out of the house and knocked it into this box. But we need to make it look interesting. Yeah, a bit more like, sort of like that, but yeah, like a gargoyle sort of thing over the top of the box. That's my plan anyway. So this slides inside this, and I will have to do something with the front of this as well because it's a bit, how to put it, green. It's not very gargoyle-y, is it, green? I don't think gargoyle is very green. And I hope the sound's okay. Hello, Kit Kat. Sound works. Yay! Thank you very much. So, there we go. That slides in there like so. Bring it down a bit closer. There you go. So you see the bench. And I've done my design. I scribbled it out on a piece of software called Infinity Photos. A bit like Photoshop, actually. They do a drawing version as well. But I just know this piece of software quite well, so that's what I use all the time now. I used to use Photoshop a lot, but now since they kind of like done it sort of subscription based, I don't bother with it. I just bought this other software and it works brilliantly. I really like it. In fact, I prefer it than Photoshop. And here are my bits of papers, my scribbles that I've been creating. Now I've already done one leg, just so I can show you what sort of effect I'm after. But that's literally what I've created. There's literally these little sketches. That's going to be a wing. Yeah, it's got wings on the letterbox. It's to fend off evil spirits, aka bills. Don't like bills. They come in through the letterbox. So I thought what I'll do is I'll first try this. If this doesn't work, I'll glue up the front. Yeah. And these are like the hind legs, sort of funny sort of arrangement. They're going to be going on the back. Yeah, sort of like that. I'm not 100% convinced about them. I've got the tail, it's going to be going up here, sort of thing. Then we've got the four arms or four legs, four arms, whatever they call them on a gargoyle. And they'll be made up out of different components because the paper's A4, and also I don't want to waste wood either. So I'm going to be making that and using intarsia. Well, it's a method where you've got multiple pieces of wood effectively glued together. It's not just one, you cut round something and then you stick it on. No, you cut round something and then cut it up again. Let me show you. Here's a leg I prepared earlier. Ooh, saucy. So this is literally the idea. Is what you do is you first cut it out all the way around the outside edge, like so, and then you cut it yet again. That way you can run the routers around and just create extra detail. And I've been using another technique, which I forgot the name of it, where you basically burn it. So that's, instead of actually putting like paint on this piece, apart from some lacquer later, the effect is going to be from the burning. Because it kind of makes sense, really. Gargoyles and fire and hell and all that. Hell, oh, scary stuff. So they basically go together like so. You get the gist there? You can make a puppet with this, couldn't you? So yeah, so the idea is basically, I say basically, like so, like so, like so, like so. Can you see it? See that? And do the same on the other side, but then I've got the head and everything else to go along the top. Then I'm going to have something on the back, but they're just details. It's not going to be like a big carved lump of wood. No, because it's not intarsia. And besides, it would just, that's split and all sorts of stuff. This is going to be up against the elements anyway, because it's going to be left outside, isn't it? That's where our letterbox is. It's outside near the gate. So the post lady, the factories, doesn't have to come all the way down the driveway to put a letterbox through put a letter through the letterbox in the door, because it's not how it's done here in France. No. And I know in the United States, Kit Kat, whatever, you've got a similar sort of system, but you have your flag thing on the top. But we just have to put a closed peg on the front, And that lets the factories know that there's mail to be collected. Yes, it's not just for receiving mail. It allows you to put mail inside it, and then they'll stop and they'll take it and post it for you. Very kind of them too. So, I did do another live video. As you know, this video has been recorded live. And a couple of nights ago, which was literally me gluing bits of wood up, ready to do this. So we have got a load of pine, just northern pine, just a white pine, that we'd, offcuts from previous jobs. And that's what I'm going to be using to do the gargoyle on here. And you can see the effect we're after is that. Right, now, regarding the schedule, I'm going to have to, I think. I'm going to do about 2 hours of this morning, over to lunchtime. And then I'm going to have to do another couple of hours this afternoon, because I'm not going to get it done this weekend otherwise. And the reason for that is I need a gap in between, because I've got to charge my batteries up, such as the radio mic, for instance. It's not going to last 4 hours, no. So, let's get to it, shall we? So what should we do next? Should we do the next leg? I think we should. Why the hell not? I've got one. Why not have two? And after that, we'll be doing the shoulder portion, ready for the head to be mounted onto. Now, what I've got to be very careful with what I've got to have consideration for all the way along is making sure that that can open, and that if everyone wants to replace this box, we can pull it out just by removing some screws in the bottom. And that is the plan. So I'm going to grab some timber, which is over there, that we've already glued up, so let's declamp it, and then we can mark it out. I could even use this to mark it out, but the other leg I'll make just slightly different so it isn't too symmetrical. So here's the other leg. It's similar, but it's not exactly the same. There's that one there. This is when you can't find it. Oh, hang on, here it is. That is the other part of the leg. So that will be the leg on this side. So it's going to be like there. So you think overall, you can imagine how big this is going to be. It's actually quite... it's going to be up there, it is. Oh dear, what am I thinking? Oh my giddy aunt. What have I let myself in for? So I've got a piece of wood down here. You know, these are ones we've been gluing up. Now this one should be okay for the other leg portion, because that's pretty much what I used last time, was two boards glued together like so. I'll plonk these over here, then I'll bring you with me. If it isn't big enough, I'll use one of the other ones we've glued up. Right, that's pouring down with rain here in France. I don't know what it's like in the UK or in the United States at the moment, but it's very wet here. Hello, Lee, buddy, how you doing? Oh, look, I've got another bot comment. How nice. They do like me. Ooh, you know, that's my little thing. I go, ooh, saucy. Oh, buddy. Okay, what's he saying? What's Lee saying here? Hi, Mark, let's hope the weather's better there. No. No. In fact, let me show you how wet it is today. I know I ain't got a boat. I've got canoes. We can go canoeing. Yeah, it's not very dry. Give you a little idea. Look, my little... that's the water butt's full. Oh, just a matter of interest, I don't know if you can see this here. I've got a wooden gut on the top of my outside shelter. It comes across, down here. You might have seen this technique before. And instead of a downpipe, even though it's not coping with it at the moment because there's so much water, it runs down the chain and it fills the water butt up. Simple things. Works, sort of. Usually. It's a bit wet at the moment. I hope I haven't made the camera all wet. Right, I'm just going to have to dry that lens because it looks a bit, how to put it, wet. There you go. Oh, so I did get in the eye, did I? Hope not. No? Okay, that's good. Yeah, I have to let it dry a bit. I got it all wet. Yeah, it's very, very wet. Ginger's is in the US and they are probably still asleep. Oh no! That ain't such a good time then, is it? I suppose I need to sleep too. I don't get much sleep these days. Right, okie dokie. So we've got this bit of wood here like so. Or two bits of wood that have been glued together. Let's just bring it up a little bit so you can see me. You might want to see me, I don't know. Maybe. Maybe not. I wouldn't blame you if you didn't. Right, anyway. So that's our box. And that is our piece of wood. So I'm just going to clamp that. I've glued it up. There's no jointing being done. Like, for instance, biscuits or dominoes or a loose tenon or anything like that, or slip joint. Not at all. It's literally just butted up and glued up. And the reason for that is because we've got to cut all these shapes, I'll end up cutting for a joint anyway. So it makes it kind of pointless. So first of all, I need to flatten this off. Actually, first of all, I need to make sure the leg will fit. Oh, got wind. Oh no, don't want wind. Got wind, got rain. So that's going to go on there like so. And the next portion, which is that one, I need to find room for that one to go in, which would fit there, okay. Yeah, probably like so, or so longer than the other one. So that would be there. So it wouldn't, if I did it like so, as one whole bit, I wouldn't reach because the wood isn't long enough. Actually, it would in this case, because I could go there on that shoulder, make the shoulder longer. So I could actually mark that one out as one piece, I think. It's toes and toenails all day. Got to make sure you got the toes and the toenails on still. And then we line up. Now, I know the box is 31 centimetres high, so 12 inches. So and that goes on there like so. And the end is there. So, ooh, that would be... I have got artistic licence. So I can just use my own judgment and say, okay, then let's make that one a little bit shorter, but do it on the shoulder part to get the height. Still got to make sure you've got this clearance here. If you don't have the clearance on this section here underneath the shoulders to the bottom here, what's happened is that'll trap the box into the wooden box. And that won't do. No. Just going to have a quick peek. As it stands, there's plenty of room. So I could do that. So we could actually mark that out pretty much as it is. So I'll tape those together. Make sure there's room there, there's room there, and there's room there is. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, instead of that, if you can actually see, at the moment it's coming off the end of the piece of wood. So all I'm going to do is adjust the design to suit. Why not? Don't matter, does it? It's called it artistic license. Just bring you a bit closer so you can see what's going on. There you go. That's okay. I think that's okay. So I'm just going to get some tape. I'll just use this like decorator's masking tape. I'll stick these together. So we've got to transfer these marks onto the wood. Now you could glue it on. There isn't much point really, not on this one. I don't think there is. Like so. And then we can say to ourselves, okay, then we need to fix it to this. Before I do that, I need to get rid of the glue that's oozed out of the middle. Because if I don't, it's going to influence my cutting. And also it's all dumpy. So I've got a quick bit of dust mask on. Because I'm going to do some dusty sanding. And it's not going to have any dust extractor on it. Oh no! Right, bring it back up there. Now what I'm going to be using for sanding is literally an angle grinder with a sanding pad in. Because it's quick, but messy. Instead of just using the sand, if you want to use just sander, it's up to you. But it's all about time with me these days. Make sure you've got something on your eyes. Stop little bits flying into them. Put dust. Up top here, I have some air filtration, which will help clear the air of any dust. Which, oh, you see there, it says air filter on my little handle. And that's on. That one's on, and the one over there is on as two. 1, 2. They're not perfect, but they do help. see, it is quick. That's why I do it that way. I'm not saying it's the best way of doing it, I'm not saying it's the safest way of doing it. You need to make your own judgment on that and what you're comfortable with doing. So I'm just lining it back onto the piece of wood like we did a minute ago, making sure I don't chop its toes off. Don't want to chop its toes off. It gives me a fairly good indication. Things you can do is grab a pen and put little location marks on. So the next time you put it back onto your piece of wood, you just line your marks up and you can see exactly where it goes. Or don't worry. And I'm going to be using some... Yeah, it's okay now, it's good. Dee. Move that over here. So I bet I'll need that again. So I'm going to do it a bit at a time. So what I'm going to do first of all, I'll mark the bottom first. I could put 2 pieces of carbon paper on and then put it over the top. In fact, I'll do that. That'll make it quicker and easier. 2 seconds. It's quite a fun project though, because when you do things like this, it's just like you're having to think outside the box a little bit, because you have your design. Like in this case, I was looking for designs online for gargoyles, but you're not going to find a gargoyle design that fits over your square box, no. Because gargoyles aren't square, generally. I don't think they are. I've never actually ever met one, have you? No, I doubt it. So, you have to kind of use a bit of artistic license. Like, it's going to be very square in the shoulders, obviously, because it's got to go around a square box. Now, the box will be sprayed in, painted in as well. I might whether do it black or, I don't know, like a fire maybe. I'm going to put flames on it even, I don't know. Having high water and all that. Okay, I think I'm lined up there. So what I'll do is I'll put you onto the other tripod, so I'll get you a bit closer. Where have I put it? Over here. I'll put you on there even. So you think when you're doing this live, you've got to try and, think ahead really, haven't you? I'm not very good at that. There you go. Let's put you that way. Right, you see I've got my my leg. What on earth am I thinking? Oh, I don't know. I do like silly stuff though. I like things that put a smile on your face. That's what I like. I like things that take you away from the stresses and the craziness of what's going on at the moment. Just you know. So I'm going to do my videos. I just uploaded a video actually. Went on about 10 your time, I think. And if you're in the UK, that is. That was actually an old video I made earlier last year, sorry. And it was too long. So I thought I'd just chop it down. And it seems relevant at the moment, because obviously fires. It's cold, and it's all about my wood burner, which happens to be sitting over there. I'll show you in a minute. And it works a treat, it does. So I've got to basically, with the carbon paper, it's carbon copy paper, it should transfer. Hang on, have I got that right way around? Yeah. It'll transfer a bit of carbon, hence like what your pencil's lead's made from, down onto the piece of wood. So what I've got to do is I've just got to draw around this line, around any details I want to show, and then remove it, and then the mark should be on the piece of wood. If you're as old as I am, you'll come across stuff before. Saying that, even when I was growing up, we didn't use it that much, apart from on like receipt books, invoice books and stuff like that. A bit of carbon paper in it, or it'd be carbonised paper. Here's a bit of carding so you didn't wreck the whole book. You can still get them. But these days we do a lot of stuff just electronically now, don't we? Like check borders and stuff like that. No, we don't. Okay. No politics. No politics. It's not good for my mental health for a start. Right, so I'm just going with the flow really. There's no exact, you can see the lines I've got are just been zoomed up like crazy. So they're not exactly accurate. But you just use a bit of artistic license. It's going to be pretty much, the same. doesn't matter that it's going to be a little bit slightly different, because, not be funny, it's not really replicating anything anyway, because the original drawings were actually pictures online, which weren't drawings. A lot of these I had to make them into a drawing, do a line, and then I had to zoom it all up, because there was nothing big on there, 'cause it was all to do with tattoos, you see, it seems, what I could find anyway. You know, it was anywhere near what I was looking for. This bit of wood was, as you know, was a bit on the short side, a bit like me. All right. So instead of, originally I was going to put the shoulder joint in here, I'm about an inch short, about 25mm short. So I'm going to bring that round a bit lower down. Literally just take it a bit lower down. It doesn't matter, because the effect that we're going to be doing is actually going to be, we'll be cutting into the wood anyway, into that shape. And then rotoring it out so it sort of has that moulding to it, sort of a round over. I'll probably mess it up a little bit. But that shape here, whatever the shape here, will dictate the shape of that bit, because that's got to fit into that one. So however I cut this one out, will actually dictate how this one's cut. For the shoulders, I think all the way around. Now I just want to create a bit of some details on here first, which are actually on there. You'll see why in a minute. This is to do with the intarsia. Because I want to create, or recreate, it's like the shapes in the muscles and stuff like that. So hopefully, I've gone over all the bits I need to go over. And the only way to find out is to take it off. Now the problem is if I haven't done it right, it's going to be a nightmare to actually realign it. So I'd probably just end up sketching it in. But I'm hoping I've done it right. Got the 2 pieces of carbon paper. Nope, that's there. Oh, it's like magic. You just highlight your bits a little bit. Now, because I'm routing it up, if you weren't going to router all these edges in, I wouldn't suggest using a marker pen, because you'd never remove the marks, they'd just be soaked into the wood. So what I'm going to do is I'm just actually going to make it a little bit more obvious, like so. But because the router is going to remove all those lines once it's cut out, it doesn't matter. I'm using the router just to round off once it's been cut. And a lot of this is going to be cut on the bandsaw, not the scroll saw, because the curves are quite slow and it'll be a lot faster on the bandsaw. Plus this wood is quite thick, and the stroke of my scroll saw, the saw with a little tiny blade that goes up and down, is around 25 millimetres, about around an inch. Might be just over actually. But the problem with that is it doesn't remove all the sawdust out of the cut every time it makes a stroke, and that makes the blade hot, and it's likely to get hot and break, which I don't want to happen. Not really. Quite easy, it's not usually a huge problem, but this is 27mm thick, this wood, you see, not 25, so it's thicker than the stroke. So you see it goes over like so. What I'll do is I'll take that sort of like that. And then that one there, it's going to be there like so. I'll remove this section. Yep, it's going to have a biopsy. I'm going to give my wood, not that wood, a biopsy. And then we've got the nails and stuff like that. They're just details. But that probably wouldn't show up anyway. It's all about the initial effect of what you can see. And you see this line here, which depicts the calf muscle. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to highlight that one and not stop it short like it was in the drawing. I'm going to take it all the way like so, because this creates the intarsia effect like we have in that one. Now, I haven't actually depicted the toenails in that one, but I'll do it later. I just would burn them in. I don't want to make it into a crazy amount of separate pieces, because the thing, potentially you could get water in it and that just expand and make it fall apart. And this is being fixed back together. I've glued it back together, but also put some galvanised nails in it as well. And the sat back's got to be sanded, obviously. And that'll be all painted in. Or whatever I choose to do with it. Maybe burn it, paint it, I don't know. Whatever. Get around here like so. That moment stops there, so I have to decide on what we're going to do with that bit. Now, do I make that intarsia or do I leave it alone? No. I'm thinking about it's... Where's it standing? It's the tricep. Yeah, it'll be the tricep. So I could just bring it in there like so. It's not showing the bicep on that very well. There's a piece here. I think what I'm going to do is just take that in here like so. Keep it like that. So that section here would have to be cut out with the scroll saw, but most of it can be done with the... No, is that right? I will... I'm looking at it now and I'm thinking to myself, that makes that's the shoulder, which is actually lower than it would have been because it's going to be coming up here anyway. So that's more like the tricep. I'm sort of thinking to myself I should bring that down here like so and just scoop this one around to here instead. With the pencil first. So that's an artistic license. I just start thinking that through as I go. I don't know if that bit there is going to work. I think it's going to look silly but weird. So if I bring it in there like so, then bring that bit around here. Yes, that's what I'm going to do. Simplify it a little bit to make it more of a tricep. Not quite as high as that because it's a tricep and that's where the elbow's about here. You don't have a tricep over your elbow, do you? No. So we're going to bring that round. So excuse the mess. Like so. And then I'm going to bring that round here. So it's more like the tricep shape. Like so. So this section here will be removed. Before I do that, just so I don't get confused. Oh, no, you wouldn't, would you? Not like that. Surely not. No, I would. That'll do. Yeah, that'll work. That will work. So that is his other leg. It's going to go on that side, up here. Up here, it'll go, there. Oh. You can see the size and dimensions now. So that's just going to be quite, I think it's going to be quite epic. I have actually made it. Oh, yeah. What about this head? I haven't talked about his head yet, have we? I should have a drawing around here somewhere for his head. Let me find it for you. Right, here we go. Is that spooky enough or not? Do you think that'll work? I might try and make them look a little bit more friendly because I'm a bit worried that the factories will decide, no, we're not delivering mail in there, but put my fingers off. Imagine that on the top there, like that. And its legs on either side. And then the tail at the back. It's just going to be ridiculous. I like ridiculous. And don't forget to click like, please. It really helps the channel, as it does. And even though you subscribe. Why the hell not? Gargoyle did not skip leg day. No. Mo Green. Bad weather has been keeping me inside as well. Next to the Netherlands lockdown, we were expecting snow. I think we still are, aren't we? But it's just grey with occasional showers. Hoping for a cold, sunny weather next week. Yeah, we have actually had some lovely days this week, haven't we? Hope it's dry where you are, Mo Green. I'm reading the messages back to front again, aren't I? I don't recommend going outside at the moment. I'm going to have to... let's say... I'm about to head out to the farmer's market with my mask on. But tune in later. Cheers, buddy. Yeah, I'm going to be streaming. If you're not already gone, I will be... Oh, if it wants to go to the postman. Yeah, maybe. Unless they've got bills, that's fine. I will be streaming again this afternoon as well. So I'm going to stream this until probably about 12 o'clock your time, 1 o'clock my time, something like that. Do 2.5 hours, and then I'm going to log in again this afternoon. Not quite certain what time that will be at the moment. It's probably going to be somewhere around about maybe 3 o'clock, 3:30 my time, maybe around that. It should be about 2:30 your time, because I've got to charge the batteries up. So over that, I've got to walk around with a battery pack attached to this. I don't really want to do that. Get get caught up on something like a machine, I get drawn in and chopped up into bits. Don't want to do that. No. So what we're going to do now is we're going to cut this out. Now, I can do pretty much all this on the bandsaw. Yeah. Now, if you wonder what a bandsaw is, it's a machine. It's got a long blade that's like a band. Quite simple, really. And I'm going to use this one here. This is an Electra Beckham bandsaw. I'll give you an idea how it works. You've got the wheel at the top, and that rotates, and the band, which is there, the blade, is here, goes all the way around, round, down here, and then down here as well. If I go open the door, there you go, to there. And then that one's powered by the motor, and it's tension belt and what have you, and that just runs through two guides. You've got some guides at the bottom, which you probably can't see. They're in there, it's dark. And then we've got these guides at the top. And what is really important is this is all set up correctly. Now that is what you call the thrust bearing at the back. That one that spins around. And the idea being whenever you put pressure on the blade that way, it will touch that. So it gives you that force behind the band. And these two rollers here keeps the band in line. Stops from wandering. And it's very important you don't have those rollers too close to the edge of the teeth or too far back. If they're too far back, you'll get no control whatsoever. If they're too far forwards, it'll just basically go where it wants to go. That's not necessarily where you want it to go. So let's shut this up. Then I'll just grab the tripod. Because obviously I can't do it while holding the camera. That's to go in there like that, that's it. That's on. Here is the tripod, little Manfrotto. I've had it years. I used to do a hell of a lot of photography at one time. A long time ago. Good little tripod this one is, especially for this equipment that we tend to use these days, which is quite light. So, what we got? You can see that all right, can't you? At the moment, you're streaming via my phone, and through that device there into the internet, into the web. Ooh. Isn't that clever? So, first of all, I'm going to cut around the outside edge of our leg. And there it is. Here's a leg that I grew earlier. Right. I've got all sorts of things on the floor and my feet. I should pull the saw out really, shouldn't I? So as I turn the motor on, dum bum bum bum. Now I have these guides, this goes up and down, set fairly close. Not too close, but close enough to provide extra support, which means you get extra control. And the band is a little bit on the blunt side, so you don't want that wandering about. I don't mind if it goes a bit astray. You don't have to be right on the line. No. It's better to keep some sort of flow with the cut than trying to maintain a line that you've been drawing with a pencil, which has been trying to follow the grain. There's a lot more sharp ends here. For some reason the saw's wonky. That'll be the floor. So where it's sharper bends, you have to take it a lot easier. Yeah, if I go in, see what's happening there, that's trying to grab the blade and to take it out of the guides. So I go back a bit and I take a wide berth. And remove that section. And now we do it in bits. Or take it to the band, take it to the scroll saw, which we might still do. Oh, there you go. It'll cut its toes off. And one thing I didn't do, and I should have done, wherever there was a line, like here, I should have waxed it. The thing about waxing a line like this, what happens is the blade it takes a bit of that wax, takes it into the cut, so you're lubricating the blade as you go. But bear in mind, if you're doing a glue up, you'll make sure you clean that wax off. For obvious reasons, wax will resist, won't it? So that bit's the tricep, so we'll follow this line first. That's called intarsia when you do that. Very old technique. This area here we're going to do on the scroll saw because all these little bends are too intricate. So it's time to turn it off. Oh, it's quiet. Oh, that's better. It won't be in a minute. Sorry. Right. What I ought to do. Still on summertime, I see. Yeah. Oh, God, I did not skip. Nope. So, I think I might put the chat up on my monitor over there. That'd make a lot more sense, wouldn't it? Anyway, so we've got this here, and we've got this piece here so far. So we've got a leg, which needs some work on the bottom, which we're going to do with the scroll saw. We've got this piece here that I've cut out, that's part of the intarsia. Then that here is intarsia. I could have done some of that on the bandsaw actually, but that last part here is quite sharp. So I'm going to do all that on the scroll saw. It seems to make sense to me. So let's take it to the scroll saw. To the scroll saw! Now, my wood burner is a little bit... I forgot about it. I'm just going to check the wood burner. Can you see my wood burner? I actually uploaded a video about that, shortened version of an older video. So I don't know if you checked that out yet, but it's quite cool. I did speed it up maybe a little bit too fast, but it's the original video is like 20 odd minutes long, so I thought it was a bit long. Keep people's attention. Need some little bits on there, that's what we need. And I've just been cutting out little bits, haven't I? I've got some little bits over here. There's some little bits. And there's some more little bits. So we'll chuck them in there, that'll help. That bit there can go in there. That'll help the fire. Got to keep yourself warm. This thing's up. Oh, there you go, got flames now. Ooh. A big log on there, but it's a bit damp. Let me just show you my wood burner. I built this thing. If you haven't actually already watched the video, it's a bit nutty, really. But it worked. Now, the wood burner that we had in here was an Ardene's Turbo 5, and it was not a bad thing, but it's like made that bean can. It wasn't very good. But this thing, I built this out of a gas bottle and 3 old wheels that someone gave me. The lid is the original lid, apart from I put this old spring on the top, which makes quite a good heat sink handle. Works really well, and plus I can hook it off if I want. I've made it so I can actually just put it over here. And other parts of it, like that part there's a part of an old trampoline leg set that we cut up. And the legs also from the old trampoline as well at the bottom there. And then I made all these little screw vents, which work really, really well. So you can cut the actual oxygen flow down to the fire. But you can see here, it's wheel. Well, I've had to weld all the bits up, where all the holes are. Oh my God, I got through some welding rods. And obviously the chain is there. You see, it's all about convection. It's not because I got carried away, no. What does it look like? Oh, sort of like a minion, sort of a Daft Punk minion, I don't know. And that sprocket is off my motorbike when you see that here, it's an old motorbike sprocket that come off my GSX 1400 and it's had to replace it because it was a bit worn. So just, yeah, the whole thing cost me about 20 quid, that's just in welding rods. So I know it's mad, you wouldn't just have it in your house, but there's a bit of a laugh in it, you know. And it works so well, and because of the way it works, you can see it's a bit sticking out. Well, I showed you the vent, that bit there. It goes up. No, that's not up, is it? That's up. Yeah. Oxygen goes in there, and that pipe goes into the middle of the fire. I can actually burn sawdust on this fire because I'm putting the oxygen into the sawdust. It doesn't smother it. It's brilliant. It works very well. The idea is the same as the Ardine's turbo fire that I had. The turbo Ardine's 5 turbo. I can't remember what it's called. Something like that. So the concept is the same, but I made it using stuff that I had kicking about. Because I'm a bit of a hoarder. Oh, that will be useful. I'll make some of that. Yeah. The problem is you end up with about maybe 2% of stuff that you reuse, and the rest of it just rots away. So anyway, let's get on with the old, the leg. We're going on to the scroll saw now. On to the scroll saw, which is here. And also I'm just going to bring up the stream on here, so I haven't got to keep steering. Oh, I need the actual channel. Oh, there it is. That's the video. Your channel. Blimey. Hey, I got no subscriber. There we go. We're live. I better turn the sound off though. That will be really annoying. There we go. We're live. There you go. The sound was off, but now new pin chat. Right, the only thing is, I can barely. I need to update the drivers on here because the text is really hard to see. And if I increase that, it's bigger. Ah, that's better. Now we can see what you're saying. Oh, I've got another bot comment. How lovely. Oh, you watched it, did you, Kit Kat? My little cut down version. I should have actually put a link there, but there's a full version of the video. It's done in the same sort of way, but it dragged on a bit, so it hasn't done that well. But yeah, there we go. Oh, sorry, you can't see me. Looking at my bum. That won't do, will it? Oh, you don't want to see that thing. Scares me, I'll tell you. Right, so let's trim these other pieces up on here. To the scroll saw. Blades nice and tight. It's the same scenario again, but I've already waxed it, so I'm not going to be worried regarding adding the wax to create the lubricant. Oh, look at that. Oh dear, got to play. You can see that, yeah. So it's a bit slower. It would actually, believe it or not, if this was made of oak, it would actually cut much faster. The problem with pines, they clog up really quick. What happens is, you can't see it, but in that slot, with the thickness of the wood, the pine literally just clogs it all up. The thing about the bandsaw is because it's always travelling one direction, it carries that sawdust and passes it right through the saw, and it's gone. With a scroll saw, if the wood is thicker than its stroke, and the stroke is how high and how low, or the difference between. In this case, I think this is 25mm up and down stroke. It might be a little bit less actually. It's fairly good for a thing like this, but and because of that, the sawdust doesn't clear the cut very quickly. A coarser blade would obviously help. And this scroll saw is one that I salvaged. I paid about 20 quid for it or something, 20, 30 pounds for it, euros, sorry. And it's an old Craftsman, it's American, Sears Craftsman. It says Craftsman? Yeah, anyway, it's Craftsman. And it's very, very, very substantial. So that piece there is the intarsia. I just need to take a little bit more off here. There we go. So put that over there out the way for a second. So that side is done. I've got to now concentrate on those tootsies. Ooh. Look at that. You get a lot sharper turns you can do this, even though it's quite slow in the pine. Be careful. Let's move the saw bit. I don't know, why am I doing this? You can remind me. Alright, fending off evil spirits. That's what we're going to do. This would be quite cool we get the multicam, because if I had like more than one camera on this, I could have one camera mounted on like a close-up shot as well. So you can just see really close up what's going on, and one obviously a field view as well. But you need a way of controlling it while you're doing the work. So it needs to be remote control, doesn't it, of some description? Or voice control. Camera 2. Cut. Whoops, no. There, did it? Oh, we're getting closer. We're getting closer. Go. So I think to create a little bit more detail by just going into where the toenails are. And when I upgraded this machine, when I've rebuilt it, it's a bit dusty now as you can see, but I've completely refinished it all. I actually fitted a foot switch as well. Let me just show you, because it actually makes a huge difference. If you've got a machine like this, just to fit a very simple foot switch makes a massive difference to actually the usability of the machine. There you go. Let's bring it down a little bit. That yellow thing at the bottom. Oh, there you go. There. So that operates the machine. A bit like a sewing machine, really. That's pretty much what this is. Industrial one, that is. But a lot expensive, about 20 quid for a foot switch. Definitely worth installing, because it makes a big, big difference. And silly things like having the drill nearby, because when you do a lot of internal cuts, you've got to drill a hole to put your blade into. So it's handy to have a little drill nearby just to whip your hole through. Providing you're quite good with a drill, it is, because if it's at an angle, you'll cause problems actually when you first start. So you've got to make sure you drill 90 degrees straight through, because obviously you've got to think about the angle of the blade. we've got that. We've got this piece here, and there's another piece somewhere, which is from up top here. So we'll put that. I think I'll put it over there. No, where did I put that? Have I lost it already? Oh dear. Right, so we've got that part there. Oh, here it is. And that part here, that makes up the intarsia portions. I'm not going to go into too much detail, because if you're doing that as a piece of artwork, but this size, it's not necessary. See, what you do is all these bits will be intarsia. So it's sort of semi-intarsia. But the problem is, if the water gets into it, they'll just literally expand and force all these pieces off. So one day you'll find all its limbs are missing. Don't want that, no. The other thing I've just forgotten to do, and we need to do, is the elbow joint. Now, can you remember the other leg was in two pieces, top and bottom? So we need to cut that in as well. Now, I could just wing it. But we know that area here, the elbow's about here. Around here. So that's the sort of shape I'm going to go for here. So if I just bring that round in there into a... Oh, I got a coffee. Oh, my Debbie McGee. My video is blurry. Did you start going blurry?
I don't know, I only just put it on, but your hand is all blurry and you can't see the machinery properly.
Okay, so we've got a problem. Have we got a problem? Let's ask people watching. It might be our internet, Caroline. Oh, it's all right on this one. Oh, someone's having some lunch. Oh, have your lunch. Hello, Mad Monk. How you doing, buddy? I don't know about it. I'm going to be doing it all weekend anyway. So I'm going to be streaming this afternoon as well. And tomorrow morning. And tomorrow afternoon probably to get this finished, I think. The Gargoyle's getting a pedi. Woohoo! Pedicure. That it was. How you doing there? Is the picture okay? Caroline just told me. Hello, Ian. Just told me that the picture's a bit blurry. I can't really tell on this because the screen setup is wrong with the video card for the computer. So I need to set up because the story is actually I stole my monitor that's meant to be for this. Put it in the studio upstairs for the other channel, and now I'm using this as a TV. You see, and it's not really that sharp, and I'm so close to it at the moment. So I hope the pictures. Oh, the picture looks fine. Excellent. Cheers for letting me know, mate. That's good to know. It's probably just our internet because I'm streaming, what have you, and then streaming this back to me at the same time. And then Caroline's been watching as well. It's probably just gobbling up our internet. And when the weather's bad, our internet's bad. Strangely, but again, we're not on a hard line. You know, we're not on. I guess so. We've got a 4G setup here, so we've got aerials on the roof because we're in the sticks. In France, that we are. And where's that gone? Where's my chat gone? Aha! There it is. That's good. Anyway, let's carry on. I'm getting worried then. Right, so what I need to do now is, even though you got the tricep and bicep, these represent two parts. They are. So we're going to just literally, what way to do it on that one? That one there, which is a lot chunkier than this one, for some reason. I'm going to do it across here. Got to be careful actually. If I go too close here, that's going to be too thin. So I'm going to go. I could just do like that. Hang on, I'll do it. I'm going to do it like that, literally, and that sort of mimic. I can't go into that part because that's where the other intarsia is, and I can't go into that part because that's where the other intarsia is. No, it's there, isn't it? No, that's okay. That'll do like that, and make it into two parts. So I'm sort of winging it. But like I say, it's what I do. Oh no, he's got a broken leg. That just won't do. So there you go. It also gives you a little bit of articulation as well if you want to actually change this angle to fit on the box properly. That's my reasoning. I'm sticking to it. Right, okay, let's bring it back now to the bench. So the next stage is we've got to router it, but I might drink some of my coffee before I get bits of wood in it. Because it flies everywhere. So in case you're wondering, if you just arrived and you don't know what's going on, you see the metal box there, and you see I've already put a wooden box around it. It does come out, slides straight out, the metal box does, the letterbox. But what I'm doing is, we're gonna put a gargoyle on it. To scare away all the evil bills. So that is the head. So we'll be making that later. So that's going to be going on there like so. And we've got shoulder portions. And then we have these leg portions. I made this one yesterday just so I could show you. And also make it more likely I can get the video finished. So that's basically a leg portion. It's going to be going on here like so. Like that. It's kind of the idea. We one on that side. And then you get the shoulders. And their head. And then their tail in the back. And then some hind legs and stuff. And whatever else I decide to stick on it when I get ideas in my head. I might put some spikes on the back or something. I don't know. I'll come up with something. Maybe. At the moment, I had to start off with creating the design on the computer. I used Affinity Photo. And I used pictures of different gargoyles online. And I had to sort of create the outline. And anyway, there wasn't anything ideal that I could use. So I just had to go with the flow. Do you think that'd be too scary? Do you think they'll decide, no, we're not posting anything? Oh, we've got 10 people there, that's pretty cool. Hope everybody's well. Mo Green said, Mo, centre of the village is about 1 kilometre away. A quick walk, and our farmer's market was repeatedly named the best in the entire Netherlands. Oh, great. I hope you had a nice walk there. Hope it wasn't too wet. That was quick. I have to admit, that was very quick, Mo. Kit Kat's right. Oh, the time delay in the background. Do you know, when you're doing live shows, and you've got it all in front of you, and you're working with, I could do upstairs on the other channel, and I get so disorientated. And I struggle with live shows anyway. Not this sort of, because I'm in the element here, so I'll just be a prat. So I'm in the middle. I want to do things like politics and stuff like that, and you've got to be fairly sharp in the head. Like yesterday, I did a live show. I didn't feel that good, to be honest. I felt a bit fuzzy in the head and all that, and a bit kind of, I don't know, not all the ticket. So I was struggling with it. Other days it would go better than others. You know what I mean? So it's just one of them things, I suppose. And you've got some people out there who do live shows. If you're talking about politics type channels like Max and what have you, he's really good at it. But you don't see his face. That's the thing. That's what makes it a lot harder, is when you actually you've actually got to be in the video. That's kind of my thing, isn't it? And I don't want to look. And also the thing is, I don't want to look dead. No, I love Phil, but he doesn't look very well. Because he's not very well. It's just because the software that he's using takes all the colour out of him. He's like, like a zombie. But I still listen to it because it's such good information. But anyway, this isn't a politics channel. Oh. Kit Kat says not far from the Dutch border. Whereabouts are you, Kit Kat, then? And that won't scroll up down. So, well, cool. Right, let's get to it, shall we? So the next stage is we've got to router it. Now we've got to use a router, or like Graham Hughes would say, a router. Okay. Which is this little palm router here that I'm going to be using. That one. And it's a little capsule. I might leave a link in the description actually, but it's actually a really good little thing. It's only 30 quid. It's really cheap. Obviously it's Chinese. And it's a copy of a Makita. The actual, all the gubbins, actually, you can put on the Makita version. So, pretty much identical. Those little Chinese people, they're thieves, they are. Yeah. They plagiarise. Right. So I'm going to be using a rubber mat. So let's bring it down so you can see. Reminds me of when, talk about plagiarising. Was it Japan when they came out and visited all the high-tech British islands? Dare I say it? Do those two words go together? Car manufacturing factories. At the time, they were actually the forefront of technology at the time. And I think that's when Nissan, no, Datsun and what have you. And then they pretty much copied the systems. That's what my dad tells me, and he was a Brexiter. So anyway, it's not politics, no. Put my coffee over here. Oh, it's nice to have a coffee. You know, you can't drink beer all the while, no. So can you see? That's a very valid point. I'm going to put you a little bit closer. I might put you on the, I'll tell you what, I'll put you on the other tripod. So you get more of a bird's eye view. Ooh. There we are. Now, hopefully I don't cut my fingers off or take lumps out of them, because I've got to do it all by hand. I'm using this mat. This is actually, originally it was 2 pieces, or 1 piece, sorry. There's 2 of it. I've got 2 of these, the other one's on my bench over here. And this is the soundproof mat you use for washing machine. They're cheap, and they work really, really well for this purpose, because they grip your wood. So you don't have to clamp it down or anything. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a shape all the way around that. Like that. At this end, we could be doing as well, but we've got to be careful here. The reason we've got to be careful is because it's very narrow at that point, you've got to make sure you're supporting on the flat of the wood onto the flat of the router base. Otherwise, what can happen is you go in here, you could actually go in, take big lumps out the corners, or even out your fingers. You don't want to do that either. So keep your fingers out of the way. Yeah, because it isn't a good idea. So we're going to see if I can do it without messing it up, shall I? That's a good idea. Like that. Same point with that one. It's getting trickier because you've got hardly anything there. So you see what I'm doing? I'm actually, as I get to the end of the stroke, I'm pulling it off quickly, off the end. I'm not allowing myself to hover over it and accidentally take more out than I should. Now the other thing you could use is a router table, where you have a router, like this one, mounted under the table, and you have just enough hole showing so the bits sticking out. So you have you then have support around everywhere. I'm not doing that because I want to be able to show you how to do it without that. So that's that one. Bit of sanding, yes, I can see that. So now let's do the other portion of the leg. That one, the pedicure. I still need to remind myself why I'm doing this. I've actually made a bit of a mistake. It don't matter. And when you're in tarsia work like this, you don't have to use a router. You can just carve it if you want. Just whittle at it, or sand it, whatever you want to do. Now the mistake I've made is, if you look on this one, I didn't router the bottoms of the legs. I have on this one. It doesn't actually matter. In fact, once I sand it, some of these details will go anyway. Now you see we've got these shapes going on here. Now you could do this with intarsia again, but the pieces are going to be so flippin' small. I think you end up losing them. They end up falling off. Remember, this is going outside, so it's going to be subjected to the elements. So there you go. So that is my intarsia. It's a very simple intarsia. You can have a lot more complicated intarsia than that, but usually that would be like a piece of art. But this is just to give a bit of effect, really. But look at this. Have I put that in the fire or something? No, I blowtorched it. Oh. So before I do that, I'm just going to sand this and get rid of some, I know, well, yeah, no, before I sand it, actually, I'm going to put these details in, which I'm going to do with the pyrography. So there's all sorts of techniques going on here, you know. While I'm thinking about that, I better just check my fire. Bear with me. I'll tell you what I'm going to quickly go and do. I'm just going to... Oh, look at my toolbox. I'm just going to grab a log. Not that kind of log, cheeky. No, it's a different sort of log. It's a wooden log. I come to the door. I had to leave my microphone there. I didn't want it to disconnect. Oh, I'm back. Just got the fire. Oh. Well, I was a bit damp. Grab a microphone. I'm back. Right, here we go. No? Yeah, it is, I think. I've asked. So I've got the fire, which is a bit spooky at the minute because I've got the lid off. But it's not doing that well because, well, it is actually in the bottom there. Can you see the fire? Oh, a bit like drop the camera. Oh. I'll put some sawdust on that in a minute. We'll get hot enough. I'll put some sawdust, put some logs on there first. If we can get that roaring. Yeah. Let's get to it. So the next stage is a bit of pyrography. Yeah, you know, wood burning. Onto the leg. So we're going to burn the toes. It's like torture. Yeah, I could get a job doing that. That's plugged in. Let's turn it on. I have after the stream, what I'll do is I'll put links if anyone's interested in for the Amazon links for these tools. This also only costs 30 quid. I don't know what they are now, but when I bought it, it was 30 euros. And it's been brilliant. And the Peter Childs ones, you're looking at, nearly £200. So it's a lot more money for a proper one, which are very good. But this thing is actually very good too. Got no problems with it whatsoever. So let's burn some toes. As you do. There you go. Let's put you over here. What's going on? There you go. And you see me. Oh, not very well. That's the other thing with this. Using a phone like this, that phone is not very wide. Now once I burnt the toes in, we'll give it a light sanding and then we'll do that effect. And then we need to glue up as we go because I've got to think about the time it takes for the glue to go off. So this is my pyrography set, my whole life pyrography set. You press a button on here, then what happens is it puts a current across these two terminals, across the wire, a bit like a polystyrene cutter, and that heats up. So I just push a button, it's reasonably quick to heat up. At the moment I've got it set to about 570 degrees. I might go a bit up to 600 now, because of what I'm doing with it. And that'll glow bright red. Can you see that? Put that there, you can see it now. So it's glowing red. So I'm going to burn it, yeah. It's like torture. Arrgh. Where is the Scorpion King? Tell me or I'll burn your toes off. Something like that. So just create a bit of detail. Even once I sand it off, that'll still be there. Oh, the only thing with this is certain woods are not great for wood burning. One is cherry. It burns okay, but the fumes that come off it, God, it makes your eyes water. Quite nasty. Luckily it goes over there, not coming in my face. So you see what I'm doing, sort of burning my way through. You can see how effective this particular wood pyrography iron is, if you have ever tried to do pyrography with a soldering iron, it's nowhere near as effective. Nowhere near. This is literally, you could pretty much burn through the piece of wood if you're not careful. Around like so. More details, just little details. I know it doesn't matter too much, but it's a bit of fun, isn't it? There you go, that one there. Oh, last bit. So if I'm not going to do intarsia, I'll do pyrography. Like I said, I don't want to make the thing fall to pieces in the elements. I've already got to protect it as much as I can because it's going to get rained on, it's going to have the sun attacking it. And the box that we've got out there at the moment, which is like a little house, is no worse for wear. It's getting really tatty. It's not horrendous. It could be, sorted out. It's not rotten away or anything silly. Just, I don't know. I just fancy something different anyway. It's my excuse. So now all I'm going to do now is turn it off, put it on one side. I'm just going to lightly sand it. Also, I really got to sand these pieces over. They ain't got to be done, but depends how worried you are. Because when I put the blowtorch on it, any fluffy bits will disappear anyway, because some of it's going to be crusty. If you look here, you create a bit of soot. Now that process, I can't remember what it's called now. It's actually a process that's used in wood preserving by scorching it. Oh, thank God for that. I am there. There was a glitch. That's probably my internet because it's saying it wasn't connected. Oh. Anyway, let's carry on. Oh, it scared me, it did. I got a bit frightened. Now I've got a variety of sanders I could use. I could use this sander here, which is a DA sander, air-powered. Or this one over here, which I might use this one, which is also air-powered. Or I could use the one we were using earlier. If it's air-powered one, I'd have to just take that out of there because it's connected to a compressor next door. And this is quite good. This gives you a lot more control. Just remove some of the fluff. Now I've got 180 grit paper in there at the moment. I'm not worried about saw marks to that degree, but I don't want it to be quite as pronounced as what we've got there regarding the router marks. And like I say, you don't have to use a router for that job. You can carve it, you can sand it into shape if you want. Make it more or less pronounced. You could use some carving chisels, or carving knives, I would say. A bit of whittling. When I routed that, I took the chip out of the corner. That's okay. That one. And this one. This is 180 grit paper. Okay. So now we do a bit of blowtorching. Ooh, look at that. Ooh. Like that. Here's what we prepared earlier. Now to do a bit of blowtorching we need a lighter, which happens to be over the other side of my workshop, over here. Just here, but you can't see it because it's behind you. Who's behind you? So, let's bring it back a little bit over there. Now, to do this, I'm going to use a blowtorch. In this case, it's just a rubbishy old one I've got over here because it happens to be the only one I've got gas in at the moment. I do have a new gas bottle for the other one. I could do with actually get some gas bottle for my map gas, but it's not that easy to get in, it's really expensive. What are you? I've got a tin. So, the idea of the tin is we can put each piece on the tin and then we can blowtorch each piece. Oh. Pyromania! Right. Make sure you can see. My arms aren't long enough. There you go. My arms aren't long enough. My legs aren't long enough. No. I'm not long enough. Anyway. No. Oh, back over there. That's better. I think that's better. Chop my head off. Or my hat off at least. There you go. Ah, that's a bit better. That'll do us. That will do us. So let's set a light to this. Oh. Oh. Now, there's a technique I tried once and it doesn't work. If you've got really bad nasal hair, don't do that. I tried that. No, really bad idea. Just turn us around so you can see. See what I'm doing there? Just creating a bit of colour to it, and a bit of light. Some bits will actually catch a light. That'll go all charcoal-y. Can I prop that up a little bit? There you go, then I can just concentrate on that then. And I don't mind if it goes, if it becomes charred or anything like that. It's kind of the effect I'm looking for, really. Scorched earth look. You've got to make sure you're far enough away from the flame. If you're too close, it's actually cold. That's where the gas is about to ignite. Oh, you see that? See where it goes like orange flame? That means it's a light. I haven't got anything flammable around here, have I? It's only a wood shop, isn't it? So let's turn it around slowly. And then try to get the details, especially these areas on the corners. And there. That works. There you go. So it gives you a little scorched look like that. That's kind of what I'm after. Let's do that one. Starting over here. My coffee. Oh, still coffee left. Da 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 da. And if this, if I can get these live shows, reasonably popular, I'll carry on with them, obviously. But I do need to make sure that I do enough actual videos as well, because they're evergreen when I make these kind of videos. Like the wood burner type ones and stuff like that. They're quite evergreen. Like Norm Aben, New Yankee Workshop, sort of. With no production. Now, if I was using my other blowtorch, the Rosenbergen one, it's with the map gas, this would be a lot faster because the gas is a lot hotter. So that's a butane, and that's the map gas, I believe, is a propane. Oh, still a light, that. It does make it fun when you do silly things like this, you know what I mean? It's just, instead of just slapping paint on everything all the time. Now there will be lacquer on it or something to protect it, but I don't want to lose the colours, the scorched look. Okay, it's hot. I suppose it would be. Try to get in between the toes. Oh no, it's quite light again. Oh, it's not dangerous, is it? No. Where did I put that petrol can? Nearly there on that one. And then it's just the intarsia, the little tiny bits that got to be done. There you go, that's a leg. Maybe a bit more in the middle there, I think. There you go. Ah, it's hot. Who's ever stripped paint off a door with a blowtorch like this, and bits of hot melted paint that catches a light and lands on your skin, and you're running around, like a mad person trying to find some water somewhere to cool it down. Because I've done that a few times. Nearly there. Nearly there. Are we nearly there yet? Oh, we get the yarn. It's hot. I suppose I could use something to hold it with. That would make a lot of sense, wouldn't it? I think the gas is getting low on this. I have got a spare gas bowl. I did think ahead. It's usually a good idea. So that one. Now we've just got that one. Now, obviously paint is also a good way of protecting stuff, but the problem with paint is that you trap water as well as, as well as protect it. So if anything does get into the timber, you're just allowed it to fester and to soak into everything and expand. Now, if you ever get like gloss paint work, whatever, like your fascia boards, for instance, on your house, and you get all these big blisters filled with water. That's the water coming out of the wood in the summer when the wood heats up. Basically, the wood was wet when you painted it. There's damp in the wood. That's what happens when you think, oh, I know. I better paint this quick, the winter's coming. It happens to be autumn. There's a lot of humidity in the air, especially at night times, whatever. Or it's just the rainy season or something, your wood's all damp. So you've got to make sure everything's very dry. The other option is to use a permeable paint, a paint that can breathe. That's usually a good idea. Anyway, I think I'm happy with that. I'll turn that off now. So now we've got 2 legs. Yes. There's 2 major features on it apart from the head. So that one goes on that one there. Or at. Yeah. And then that obviously is going to go there like that. And then that then goes into that one down there like so. Will it stay? Like that. See, it looks gnarly, doesn't it? It looks like gnarly. Okay. So, next step now, we could say, okay, put to one side and don't worry about it. I'm not going to stick these portions together like so, but these details need to be glued in. So I think it'd be worthwhile mixing some glue up, to glue that one up, and obviously some future bits and pieces that we'll be putting together as well. Now I have a drawer under here. Does anyone recognise these boxes? I wonder where they come from. Well, a friend of ours used to buy all their food from England, and it used to come by delivery, and these boxes were supposed to be returned. But when it all went a bit tits up beginning of the year, there was no one to return the boxes. We're talking about Brexit, obviously. Some glue, and there is some glue. So I had them, and I'm very glad for them too, because they're quite good boxes. Now I've got, we need some water. Water and some sort of glue stick. I've got one here. A glue stick. So we're going to mix the glue up, and then what we're going to do is literally, glue them together. I'm not going to glue them together yet, no. Because I want to make sure I've got them where I want regarding the angles of the dangle. Yeah. How articulated I want it to be. That's the plan. So first of all, let's mix some glue up. And I will put a mask on this time. Because I don't want to be breathing that stuff in. No. Hat off. Oh no! I ain't got a ball patch just yet. I'm receding. I just clip it a lot off because it's so easy. In the workshop, you're constantly covered in dust. And in the summer, I can just literally chuck my head under the tap and clean all the old dust off. Woodworking's lovely, but it's a very dusty job. And you do have to take some precautions, and that's why I'm wearing a mask this time. The problem is, I usually don't bother wearing a mask when I'm doing videos, and the reason for that is because you can't hear me very well, But if I keep doing that, I keep making videos, I'm going to be wearing a mask. Not wearing the mask nowhere near enough. I only need to wear the mask while the water and the powder starts turning into like more of a paste. And I can take it off. It is a very fine powder and you can breathe it in, and it's carcinogenic. So it's not a good idea breathing in a carcinogen. No. They're getting it. Yeah, I hope I can maintain doing this sort of weekend workshop. I come up with some project ideas. This one is a little. Generally speaking, I'm just going to do one. Just do it on Saturday maybe, or just Saturday and one on a Sunday. But this one's a bit of a bigger project. And plus, because it's not something I really have, make a habit of making. It's a very much an organic process. Yes. A bit like old people. How I feel at the moment. I feel a bit organic. I don't know about you, but when you get older, bits fall off or they start going wrong. Now, my eyesight used to be really good. Now, these days, a lot of it is screen time. I spend too much time. I'll take this off now. I spend too much time in front of screens, editing videos and doing stuff like that. And I've got dry eye syndrome. Dry eye syndrome basically means it's caused, you might not be aware of this, but dry eye syndrome, the likely cause of it is either, well, it's two actually. One is in windy environments, and the other one is staring at screens. Now, I noticed this when I was watching my grandchildren on a tablet, watching things on a tablet. Didn't blink once. So they're not lubricating their eyes. You're causing damage. And when you're doing work on the computer, you realize, hang on, I'm not blinking. You must make a conscious effort to blink. So every time you blink, you lubricate your eyes. And what dry eye syndrome is, you cause like crazing on the surface of your eyes. Now, I've actually had it diagnosed as such, and it's I use drops and stuff now, and it does heal. It gets better, but I know when it's coming back again, or I've sort of forgot or been a bit foolish. And you think it's your eyesight is deteriorating in the sense that you can't focus. But when you've got the eye dry, everything's easier to see when it's closer, because it's creating like a bit of a haze when you got it. You've like you look not necessarily Vaseline in my case, but your eyesight isn't quite as sharp as it should be. And my focusing distance in the last few years has really changed. It does worry me a bit because my dad, he suffered with, before he died, was macular degeneration. Which kind of gives you tunnel vision. I ain't got anything like, not tunnel vision, you get like a spot in the middle of your vision that you can't see. It's like a blur in the middle. I ain't got anything like that this time, just dry eye syndrome. They put a dye in, they can see it. It's like having the Sahara Desert on your eyes, like all crazed and that. So be careful with your eyesight. If you're doing a lot of screen time, constantly on tablets or phones, make sure that you blink regular. Don't look like a mad person. Don't do that. Not constantly. You don't have to do it all the while, no, because that'd be silly. Daft, in fact. But generally speaking, every 3 or 4 seconds we blink, normally. And some people blink more than other people. But when you're staring at screens, you blink a lot less. Yeah. So what makes it a double whammy is you're walking down the street on a windy day with a tablet in front of you, a phone in front of you, and tripping over the stuff. And then you've got a windy environment, plus you're not lubricating your eyes, so you're not protecting yourself. So I've got to make sure this is fully dissolved. What happens is as you mix it, I've said this before, I know, it becomes more and more liquid the more you mix it. Why, I do not know. It just does. It gets to a point where it won't get any more liquid, and that's when it's ready to use. So, this is cascamite, powdered resin wood glue, and it's a urea formaldehyde glue, and it is a carcinogen. So even when you're sanding it, you've got to be careful. Right, but the beauty about it is when it goes off, it's rock hard, and you can sand it. Unlike PVA, it doesn't sand very well because it's a bit rubbery. But this stuff, if you want to make a filler with it, you can make a filler with it, no problems whatsoever. A bit of fine sawdust, because it's a hard glue. Some things you can't use it on because you need, some projects require you to have something that's flexible. But that is not flexible, It does work very well. There you go, that. Now I'm going to get a little nail gun because I'm going to whack a couple of nails in there as well with a nail gun. In this case, I'm just going to use 18 gauge. So I won't use big old nails because you have a threat of splitting the pine, you know, or any wood because it's so fine. I wish I'd get you a bit further away like that, that's it. So I'm going to grab a nail gun. There you go, a nail gun. Check the nails in, there ain't many in there, so we have to put some nails in there. Happens to be in the straw behind me. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I've got loads of nails, but I'm running out of the real sizes that I would like. See, yeah. That one, and that one. If you wonder what these nails here, these are what we call, they're not staples, they're actually called crown nails. The idea when you sort of nail in plywood or stuff like that, which is thin. Otherwise the nail can fire straight through it. Well, I think we'll go for these all. A bit long, but that'll be right. I've got to remove this little strip first. I'll put these in. They're a bit on the long side. It's only pines that'll easily go all the way in. These ones are about 40mm, so they're quite big. Now you have to lubricate these things occasionally, which I've got some lubricant over there, but I'll do that later. I'm using air tools. So that's going to go over there. So that's a bit of glue on here. Ooh, a bit of glue. Got to have a bit of glue, haven't you? I wonder what people are doing on a Saturday. They're not watching me. I'm going to be doing some narrated videos as well. I say narrated, I mean, there's literally just almost like a podcast, but not a chat, actually a recorded thing, yeah? Because I want to do some woodworking history videos as well, the history of certain tools and stuff like that. But I think for some of them that'll work literally just as a voiceover. But it'll be quite simple videos, but I'm trying to make evergreen content that can be useful to people, not just the day it's created, but in the future as well. So I literally just slap that on there like so, and I'm going to have a look for it, make sure there's no light shining through, which there's not. That tells me I've got it in the right position, because if there's light shining through, it means I might be too far that way or too far that way, because it was cut from the same position, from the same piece of wood, it should marry up. And also I can look at the grain as well in the piece of wood, and it would also tell me whether or not it is the right way round. In fact, have I put it on the wrong side? I don't think it matters, but I think I've actually put the wood the wrong way round. I think it's supposed to be that way, isn't it? No, it's not. That is the right way round. Thank God for that. Or have I cut it the wrong way round? No, that's correct. I'm looking at the grain, but it doesn't look at my... Oh, I know what it'll marry up, because it's because I routed it. It's got a shape on it, and I want to go... I'm being an idiot. Just to let you know, I'm being an idiot. So let's fix it onto there. Let's put a few pins in it. I say pins, they're quite long. They're brads, basically. So I'll put them back there. Make sure it's flush. Get your fingers out of the way in case it comes out the side. Basically, there's a hammer in there, and it's pre-charged from the air. And by releasing it, then it just fires a hammer down. That one there. A bit further along, I think. So I'm not entirely relying on the glue, and also it allows me not to have to hold it all for several hours, especially in this humidity. Even though I've got the wood burner on, obviously the humidity's up today because it's been raining, and this glue will take a lot longer to go off. Well, any glue would be fair, and to be a little bit extra careful or cautious, careful. I don't know. We can put a clamp on just to help it. Well, I don't know if I can worry because it's a bit pointless really. I've got two nails in it. I just want to show you could put a clamp on if you want to. This is a little left clamp, which is a bit stiff for some reason. You don't want to over pressurise it. Too much pressure, just enough to grip it. You don't want to make it sort of rocks either. That's good. You don't want to squeeze all the glue out, you see. That's fine. So I'll put that to one side. Over there. And now we've got to glue that bit onto that one. Simples. I'm a bit worried that the nails are so long they come right through. They might not. If I take it at a bit of an angle, they'll be right then. That's what I'll take a bit of an angle. Angle of the dangle. Yeah, so I've got to do some narrated videos, like history type videos about woodworking, and I might restart doing some of my. I used to do some videos we've done in front of the whiteboard over there, educational type videos, and I was struggling with the lighting. I was struggling with the because it's a whiteboard, you see, it's reflective, and I was struggling with the sound as well, which also reflecting the sound. But I didn't have this then. So I might, this microphone, I was just using a shotgun mic, and it was bouncing all over the place. And the sound in this space is a lot better than it used to be, since I've put all these weird... If you're wondering what all the soft bits are in front of the doors, and these weird round things up there, and there's actually a frame with a mattress in hanging off the ceiling over there in front of the whiteboard. The reason for that is actually sound control, a little bit of sound conditioning. Otherwise, it'd be horrendous in here. Because it was horrendous in here. That was really echoey. So hopefully I don't fart through my finger. Nope, I did it. That's in. I have to do that at an angle because the nail's longer than the width of the leg. That one's better. So that one's a little bit proud, so just going to tap that one down. A little pin hammer. What was that? I do. Have a clamp on there if I want. Don't have to, but I will. You've got a clamp, why not use them? There you go. Let's make a doubly sure, done it. So, yeah. Bit of glue squeezing out the back, so it's a good sign. Okay, so now we've got two legs glued up. Let's move this out of the way for a second. I've got coffee left. Oh, can't be bad. Right, okay. Oh, clamps come off. Put that on in. Oh, this was... Oh, sorry. That was slipping. Right, okay. So the next part is going to be the shoulders. You know, the trapezoid, is it? Trapezium? What's that group of muscles across the shoulders? Trapezium? They're the ones across the triangular ones, aren't they? The ones that always look ugly when bodybuilders overwork them, they look ridiculous. With this massive bulk. So, I haven't actually designed that bit because originally I was going to butt it all up as a part of the head design, like you can see here, but I think I'd like the head to be proud of it. So I think we'll create the shoulder piece, go right across the box, so the head actually then fits over the top of it and do the intarsia in the head. So I just need to get a battery. Oh, behind me over here. You know, saying about batteries. That's why I can't do the full thing in one hit. There you go. Just on charge now. How are we doing? Yep, we're on charge. Okay, we're connected up. That's good. Right, so I'm going to probably use these designs here, but plus the bits I've actually created as a way of working out the actual shoulders. It's also got to be able to go across the actual box itself without interfering with the box. No. Otherwise, you would open the door. So get your mail out. No. And that won't do. Head there. Oh, let's lift it up. I've got all stuck on top of the papers. So it should have another shoulder portion somewhere. There you go. Got two shoulder portions which were going to be used differently before. They weren't going to be quite used like that. So if you think of this now, you can see that there. And then we've got the head, which is going to be in the middle of them. And then we've got the box, which is going to be in the middle of that here. So that is the plan. But obviously he mustn't come over the top of the box, not over the top of the door, nor must the bottom of the shoulders and chest, shoulders and chest really. I know he's a bit deformed, but he had to be, he's not square, but he has to be to obviously go around the box. So I have to make sure that whatever I do here, that the width of the box, which we can measure, tape here, I'll just show you, think it was 28 wide. So whatever measurement that is, yeah, it's 28. So nothing here, back over here, can be over 28 in width. Now, if you're going to do something like this, it doesn't have to be a letterbox. It could be any kind of box. It could be a bird box if you want. Then you can actually incorporate. You don't have to worry about that so much because you can incorporate it within the door, within the front of the bird box with a hole. Could be anything. So just got to make sure all this stuff, like so. So I've got 28 there at the moment. That's fine. So now I know that the shoulder portions are going to have to be about here. It'll be quite long. So I might have to do it in 2 pieces because the glue up is not that long. So I'm using scraps of wood that I already had. So I might make this to 2 sections. So you could do it like that and then like that. So 2 separate parts. Otherwise, we're not going to have enough wood. Not long enough wood because I'm using offcuts from a shutter job. So what have we got we can use? Bum, 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 bum. That's going to be the hind legs. Okay, it'll have to be one of these ones. Right, let me just grab this. Oh, I'm coming back. We got a bit of wood. So there's another one that we glued up on Thursday. So I can unclamp that now. That's why I want multiple cameras set up. It'll be so much easier. Just press a button. You go to camera 1 or camera 2. As long as it's not a toilet cam. No toilet cams, thank you. No. I know some people might like that, but I'm not doing it on this channel. No. That's for my other channel. Oh, now I hear you ask, what channel's that then? Oh, what will go there now? Oh no. You see this piece of timber I've got here, it's not going to be wide enough for the shoulder portion, or long enough, sorry, for the shoulder portion. So I have, oh, actually, we can think it might be. Because this one comes in from the side, the left-hand leg is from the side, and that one's from the top, so that one has to go right to the outside. But I don't know if this one might actually reach. If it does, it'd be very, very useful. Providing, so it'd be about there. So that's that one here. Yeah. Right. So it's going to go into that. And that one there. Now, are they still far enough apart at this point here? More than so. So what I'll do is, I can do that, because you see the difference there. You see the right hand leg comes from the bottom of the shoulder. It's just how I've done it, and I've done it because of the length of the wood that I had. And this one is actually from the side of the shoulder. So it's not, it doesn't have to, this top shoulder portion doesn't have to go all the way along. And I can't do that because the wood that I've glued up was too short because these are offcuts. So this, basically what's happened now is I can go to the inside here, so it should pan out quite nicely, and that one to the outside there. That is helpful, if I do say so myself. So, let's give ourselves some room with that, and some room with that. First of all, I need to sand that, which I'll use the coarse sand, and just take off any lumps and bumps. See, once we get to this stage, you see, it's possible to start applying things to the box. Exciting, hey? Can't be bad. Oh, oh, oh. Right. Air filters are on again. Just going to check that fire. moulding away nicely. Grab my carbon paper. So we're not using all that section, just going to use a bit on the top here. Make sure your carbon paper's right around. The nice thing with that carbon paper, you don't have to, just use it once and chuck it away. You know, if you look at that piece here, I've used it numerous times. You can see the lines in it. You'll get to a point where you think, maybe it's time to change that. So we've got one shoulder section here, which we know is going to be for this part portion. If that's the right way around. No, it's not. It'll be that side. So it's going to be that side. There. And then this one. Oh, I've got it right in my head now. No, I've got it wrong around. I've got it in my head now. No, that one goes there. And that comes from the top. Yeah, that one goes under the shoulder. And this one here is off the outside edge. So that one, that shape, is going to be here. Slightly higher. There might be a bit of titillation later and said, oh my god, that didn't quite work out. I'm not comfortable with that. The legs are in the wrong place or they're not lining up. Something. But that'll be going there like so, you see. Then this other leg. Take the clamp off that. So that, as you see, the legs aren't lining up now. So there's a possibility I might have to rearrange a few things to make it right. Whether or not I'm bothered, or I might rearrange the feet slightly to actually how they sit on the bottom to make it more interesting. So I'm kind of winging it. The plan is very flimsy. Now I have to remember that this area here has to be reasonably flat. Otherwise, it's going to it's going to look strange. Not just look strange; it just won't work. So we're going to plonk that on there like so, and then we've got. Ooh, come off. So like so. Damn it. We don't need that leg pull. I'll remove that off there now. I don't need that on there. This one goes under, so it's got to go right under the shoulder portion. So I could shorten that leg a little bit, but I'm doing a bit of artistic license, as you can probably tell. Now if I grab my tape, let's turn that filter off, because it's noisy. Don't want too much noise, no. We'll wake up the children. That shoulder portion there, that's on there. So that one's probably in the right place. So I can I'll stick that down there. Just at least that's attached there. Now I've got to bear in mind the width at this point. Yeah, got to bear in mind that width. And that one can go right to the outside edge. So I've got to make sure that we've got a minimum of 28. That is about 28. I can probably go a bit further. Oh, I don't know. So if that was on there like so, because that's how it goes. That'd be, oh I see, it's going to be about there. And it is, yeah, that's okay at that point. Could come down a bit low on this one. Make sure we've got our width at this point. Not quite. In fact, that one looks like it needs to be. Oh, it's all jiggery pokery, isn't it? Yeah, like so. I think that's right. That's going to be on there like that. Sort of. So I'll take this clamp off so I can position them. Like so. Like so. I keep saying like so. Like so, like so. Like I say, it's a very organic process. come higher up like that. In fact, we can then bring that further over if we want, like that. Make it all knobbly. Yeah, make it more like so. And I can bring this one further in then. Get more shouldery shape. You know what a shouldery shape is? Because I just made that word up. Oh. Right, that's the narrowest point. So that could go more to there. Who talks to themselves? Because I feel that's what I'm doing. I feel that I'm talking to myself. It's daft, isn't it? Right, okay, that one there. Put a pencil on that, don't look so much. Oh, there's loads of them. Right, I'm quite happy at that. And like I say, it's a bit of artistic license. I can't have too much shape at the bottom here because it'll interfere with the door itself. Better grab another pencil, because I put that one underneath a bit of wood. Oh, come here, pencil. Well, that will do. Here's a pencil I prepared earlier. So, this is the portions that's important. It's obviously around these elements. So I'm quite happy that that element is going to be correct. So we're going to take that round there like so. And where that comes in like so, I'm actually going to bring it further along. So we're going to draw a bit further along the top of that shoulder and bring it round to here. Into the head arrangement. Doesn't really matter what's going on here because you're not going to see it because the head's going to be covering it up. But this one here is a bit more important, and I was hoping to do like almost like two scallops. So one about here. I'll draw directly into the middle of that one out so, and do the same. I say it's got like two like curves, like so. I can finalise that a bit better when I, finally put together. And that one needs to come up to here really, because we're going to be coming up here like so. And then whatever shape I can get up top here. Now I've got most of the marks on, so the important ones is where that leg goes and where that leg goes, because obviously that dictates where everything else goes. So I've got to make sure I maintain the width here. So the door on the letterbox can open. So let's move this over here, move that over there. Now I should have some marks. Why is there no marks on that side? Is it the way up? No? You idiot. Oh my god, I've got to do it again. I'm an idiot. Right. That one's right. That I had this piece of carbon paper upside down. So there's nothing there. Oh dear. What an idiot I am. No comment. No comment. Don't you hate it when a plan doesn't come together? Right, okay, that one there. That one's got to go to there, wasn't it? That's about there. Oh my god, what am I like? I'm gonna have to be quite careful because I've got marks on there, but I haven't on that side. So double check I've got my width again. Got your girth. Oh, that I haven't. Nope, no girth. So are we doing that? That needs to be further along. And this one's in the wrong place too. Like there. I think. I'm quite happy at that. It looks. It's going to make the box look ridiculously big, isn't it? It did move a little bit. That's too far over now. But it doesn't matter, does it? I've got room. I don't know why I've got wind today. Maybe because it's windy. Boom, boom. Okay, let's measure it again. Make sure I've got room. Got my 28. That'll do. Right, let's get to it. After all that silliness on my part, I do apologise for my idiocy. That's a cool film. It does feel like idiocy at the moment, doesn't it? Right, so we're going to go around like so a few times. Oh, hang on. That's not the right place, is it? Oh, that's the leg there. Idiot. Yeah, that's right. So I marked it to turn to go onto there. So I'll go around a few times. And what I'll do is, because I've already got other marks on there, I'll draw a little arrow pointing to the one that I'm supposed to be going by. Then that's going to be going up here like so. Right, like that. Whatever happens there, I don't care. And then we've got this shoulder portion here. Arrow again. Well, actually, it wouldn't make any difference because I haven't already done that one. And here and there, so it's going to be those two lines. Put an arrow. Otherwise, I won't know which line's which, you see, if I don't do that. And that one doesn't need an arrow because that's where I had the paper upside down. So that should, all intents and purposes, be it. Then obviously whatever happens there doesn't really matter. I can do it to suit. Let's just double check. That's good. Right, that's good. That's good. I hope it is anyway. So now that is going to be our shoulder portion. Let's get the marker pen on there just so I can see exactly where it is. Find where the marker pen's gone. Hiding underneath a bit of paper somewhere probably. What have I done with that? Oh well, I'll get that one. Usually what happens to me with tape measures, I always lose my tape measures. So, I'll sit down and I'll find my marker pen then. I'll be right in front of my eyes or something stupid. So this is going to be the shoulder portion, and then the head is going to be sitting on top of it. That just gives me a bit more depth, doesn't it? Just bring it a bit closer so you can see what I'm doing. Oh, don't fall over, Mr. Camera. Okay. Right. So you see the multitude of lines, but I put through the carbon paper, I just put little arrows to mark exactly my lines so I knew which one's which. Otherwise I'd get confused between that line and that line, potentially. I don't think I would have looking at it now, but I could have got confused with that one maybe. I know it's this line. That one there. And I do whatever shape I like up the top there because it doesn't affect anything. I can just do whatever I like. Same with this one here. Doesn't matter. And then over here, it's got to have the same curve because these bits where the legs are going to sort of like nestle into with the intarsia technique. If I'm doing the head, because I might make that into lots of extra bits. I want to make the horns a bit bigger, I think. Make it more horny. Ooh, saucy. Right. So, I think that's about... Well, it don't have to be that centre, does it? It doesn't really matter. Make it a bit more centred than that, I suppose. Right, so that's effectively the shoulders. And the idea being that one shoulder, this one, then not that one. Where's it gone? That was over here. That one's going to fit into there like so, a bit of luck. And then this one is going to fit into there like that, a bit of luck. Can you see what I'm doing? And then the head will be on top of it. Just to give a bit of depth, a bit more 3D-ish. So it's fairly, obviously it's fairly 2D to be fair, but it's going to be a bit more 3D, sort of. So we can cut pretty much all of this out on the bandsaw. So let's go and do that. So I'm going to grab you. Oh, I don't even know what time it is. Damn, I'm getting carried away here. So I've got to cut this wire now, charging the battery up. I don't think that clock is right. Oh, it's 2 o'clock. Crikey, didn't realise. Does it mean I've been going 3 hours already? Crumbs. Right. So I will at some point have to stop, have a break, maybe have something to eat, and have I missed a bit out? I think I think I have. I think this bit goes somewhere on that last leg. Sorry. Anyway, let's cut this shoulder portion out and work out where that bit goes. I thought those legs looked a bit skinny. Or maybe it was just me hoping that mine were. Okay. Right, nearly there. So I need to stick that bit back on. That was a bit of a daft thing to do, wasn't it, eh? That was hiding. So the leg won't be quite as skinny as I thought it was going to be. That was rather silly. I feel very silly. Right, okay, let's put that there. So that is going to be the shoulder portion, for which hopefully that will fit into there okay. It's not too bad. There's a bit, oh there, that way, like so. There might be a bit of TLC on that side looking at it. And that one will fit that way around into there. It needs a bit of help there. So there's a bit more to come off that side to make it fit, because I haven't took enough off at that point there. That leg goes there, doesn't it? So it's going to have to be more right there. So I'll have to redo that cut a little bit. So as it stands, it's in the wrong place. But if I mark it with a pencil this time, that'll be a bit more accurate. So I need to remove a little bit more material on that side. And this side, I think it's probably this. It's quite similar. It needs, yeah. That needs a bit of TLC as well. Oh, it looks a bit bandy-legged. That's because I was using a marker pen for the bits that really should have been marked with a pencil. The marker pen's thick, isn't it? So I need to take a little bit more out of that bit there. And I just need to take a bit more off that side there. So before I do that, let's time. It's 2 o'clock. So we will be stopping in a minute for a break. I think before I do that, I'm going to glue this on, because I think that goes in there. Was it there? Look there. Now that makes more sense. Oh, what a numpty. Oh, my dumpty. So that goes in there like so then, like that. That makes a lot more sense now. I thought that was a bit skinny. So now that would be going onto there, but before we do that, we need to blowtorch it. A bit more blowtorching. I need a workshop still. That might be another project with wheels on. That's what we need. So we can spin about. Right, so blowtorch. Which the gas is getting low, so we need to change the gas. You sort of don't really need to sand it when you do this because it kind of cauterises all the little ends of fibres that stick out. And it also actually helps preserve the wood. The carbon. No, it's caught light. Adds to the effect. Right. I don't. Oh! Fire blanket! Right. That's pretty cool. So let's glue that one onto there, that way round, I believe, just like that. So here's some glue we prepared earlier. Like so. There we go, that's that. Looking good. Nail gun again. Oh, good job you solved that one, isn't it, There you go, 2 nails, plenty enough. And that one then fits onto there, and that stops there. What the hell am I doing this? I don't know. But anyhow, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. And so I've got a shoulder portion here, which needs a bit of TLC. I've marked it again, haven't I? So I will do that in a minute. I'm going to, into that like so. But we've been streaming now for literally 3 hours now. So I went live, my time, about 12 o'clock. Just after 12, actually. Actually, that's not right, is it? I'm talking about 11 o'clock. Not 12 o'clock, 11 o'clock. Or was it 12 o'clock? I can't remember now. Is it 2 hours or was it 3 hours? Well, I don't know. I could ask you guys, couldn't I? Boys and gals. So anyway, we need to trim that now to fit properly. Now, I might do that on the scroll saw, it'll be more accurate than the bandsaw. Because that bandsaw does actually need a new blade. And that side there, how's that one doing on that side? That one's not quite so bad, it just needs a bit of out at the back here. Yeah. Scroll saw it is. Oh look, it's got, hey, I didn't actually see what you guys have been saying. I've got 12 people watching now. Ooh. I'll be live for 2 hours. Thanks for letting us know. I'll go a bit longer then. Draw the gargoyle. Hello, Duke. How you doing, buddy? Draw the gargoyle like one of your French girls. Oh, really? Where are they? I don't know of any French girls. Not that kind of girls, anyway. Oh, hello, DeWitt. How you doing? Don't insult your poor little gargoyle. No. Poor little gargoyle. What am I trying? Do you know what? That did not even spring to mind. But you are right. There is very resemblant. Yes, Duke. The wit had started to explain what carbon paper was to my kids. They're too young to remember the days. Yeah, pre-computer and home computers and scanners. It's a fried gargoyle leg. About right there, Mo. How you doing, buddy? Would not want to bite into the wood, even with caramelised sugar. Caramelised sugar. What would? I still have to go out into the cold and drizzle again. Oh no, don't do it. You get a cold. Gargoyle Brule, yes. Fire. Oh, that creme brulee. Gargoyle brulee. It's a bit like that. It's when you, brulee, all the sugars and stuff on top of your creme. Yes, but it's a gargoyle. The wit thinks the gremlins are very upset. Is it because I haven't made a gremlin or because I'm doing a gargoyle? Or is it because I'm torching? It's like a gargoyle. Oh, Mad Monk! I thought he was playing statue. No? Okay. Yeah, my internet went off briefly, so that was a bit annoying. So we've been live 2 hours, so I must have been on at 12 my timing. I'm losing my mind, I really am. Anyway, let's trim this down so we can then get to the next stage. It's going quite nicely, actually. I think we are making reasonable progress. So, a bit of scroll sawing. See the state of this chair, look. You ought to bend over and get that in your eye. Back fell off the other day. It's an very old chair. But I need one on wheels. I don't have to get up ever then. Oh, let that go. How thin can I go without it coming out of the cut? Oh, it's doing it. There you go. Just trimming very finely. Following the line, so hopefully the leg will fit. Or the top portion of the leg will fit into the shoulder. Quite hard to see the line. There you go. That one, hopefully, should grab it to make sure it fits. Ooh. Which one is it? That's the other side, isn't it? No, it is this side. There you go. Yep. Oh, that's loads better. Yeah, that's fine now. That's good. Let's do the other side. Just got to follow the line. Follow the light. Who's seen the film yet? Don't look up. It's on Netflix. It's sort of it's a bit surreal. It's kind of funny. It's a bit, not quite so mad as Idiocy, but it's kind of funny as well, but also potentially serious because it has a bit of reality to it because kind of the world that we're living in at the moment with this madness. I'm assuming that's there. Ooh. Let's put that off there for a second. Grab the shoulder because I'm not 100% convinced that line is right. At that point, where does it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Oh, it is. It is there. A bit more off at the top, though. To be honest, I don't like that pointy bit. I'll bring it right down. Because it won't work very well with the router, you see. Look, that'll just be chewed up by the router. I've got a little bit more hair to remove. I do like this little machine. The actual the blade clamps aren't very good though. They're a bit old. Hopefully that'll fit in there nicely. Oh, that's the wrong one. Where's it? What's over here? Yeah, it fits their tree. Look. Oh, yeah. Oh. I'm losing my mind. In a good way, I hope. Anyway, let's bring it back. Oh, there we go. So, hopefully, this all fit in there nicely. Oh, that side. In a way that it actually allows me enough room. So, it's kind of a bit, well, I'm sort of going with the flow really, aren't I? But I've got to make sure I can maintain the distance in between legs. That's looking quite good actually. Because that one goes there, and this one goes over here. It's actually looking quite good now with the position across the bottom now as well. So this is going to be going on here like so. Obviously, of course, it's getting taller and taller and taller. What is the post lady going to think? Oh god, it does make me tickle. I do like making things like this. It's a bit of fun. Oh, I just need to trim a little bit out of there because I missed a little bit. Back in a second. It'll take 2 seconds. This one. There you go. So, I'm gonna leave you long. Don't worry. Don't worry. A little bit of sanding first. Good router at first, don't really matter. Now, if you want to get a bit more kind of artistic with it, you could carve it all. You know? But I don't really see the point, considering it's going to be sitting out there in all weathers. I just want to make sure I can protect it enough as well to, you know, stop from rotting. I want this to last as long as the box does. To be fair, those boxes last a long while. There's nothing wrong with our old box, it's okay. The door is a bit bent, where the post lady's bent the door down too far. Apart from that, it's fine. So now I'm going to router that like I did the other pieces. Really handy little router there, so it's quite powerful for its size. It's still 600 watt, but it's really easy to control. It's like shoulder blades. Want any splinters? No. So that's going to go in there like, crikey, it's going to be ridiculously big. Oh, that was silly of me. I put all bits in my glue. Right, so a bit of blurred. Well, what? Sorry about that. Did you have a nice trip? No? Okay. Oh, level up. Coming in from landing. Oh, a bit of skew. Right, there you go. So I need a blowtorch now, or get a bit of browning, brulee. Move that out of the way, get more sawdust in that. That's silly of me, wasn't it? Sawdusty glue now. So we're going to blowtorch this bit now. Get old burning. So after lunch, we're going to do the head. That'll be a bit fun, that will. I've already glued a bit of wood up, so it's all ready to go. So I did a bit of preparation in a previous live stream last Thursday. It wasn't a part of, isn't really relevant for a weekend show, really. Just gluing bits of wood together. Not for this anyway. So we're blowtorching it. Oh, get some colour into it. Put some colour into its, well, into its pecs, I suppose these are. What I'm doing at the moment. I'm torching its pecs. I suppose that's what they are, aren't they? And the shoulders. Oh, come on, it's taking too long. Oh, they do. There you go. Oh. Could use Lazy Susan. I'm going to rotate it in. No, I'm not talking about blowtorching Susan, no. I'm talking about one of them rotating things I've got around here somewhere. Oh, it's over there. It's near my saw. Now, considering my woodworking career has been mainly around making things, well, it was in France, lots of shutters, doors, windows and stuff like that, and staircases, lots and lots and lots of staircases. I've lost count how many staircases I've made. All different shapes and sizes and materials, mainly oak. Some complicated, some very simple. Not really stuff that I really want to be doing because it is very heavy work, especially when you've got to install them as well generally because they're quite bespoke. It's not really stuff you can give to anybody to install because they've got to know how it's going together. But it's the more complicated ones. I suppose you could train someone up to do it, I suppose, but I don't really have the money to be able to do that. And there's no guarantee of getting the work now anyway, so lots of things have changed. So I'll put a torch in there. It's getting there, nearly. Tell the gas is getting low, but I don't want to change the gas bottle while there's still just about enough to do it. It's not as ferocious. Oh, hang on, turn it up a bit. That might help. Haha, let's bring it a bit closer, see what I'm doing. Let's get some colour into it. So there's other things you could do. You could do a bit of, what do you call it now? Ebonising, where you use tannic acids, iron sulfates and that can change the colour of your wood, but they'll be the same all over. And pine doesn't ebonise very well. It does go browny colour, but it's not kind of the effect I'm after anyway, is it? This is a bit different. Scorched earth look. I've not certainly scorched it. And set light to it. Whoops. Some of this I don't really need to do because it's can be covered by the head. do like making projects like this, so it's just a bit of fun, isn't it? It's like when I made that wood burner. It kind of evolved, and it was a very organic process. And you just got to... Obviously, you've got to know what you're doing, in the sense you've got to know how it works. You've got to get oxygen, for the wood burning, for instance, you've got to get oxygen to the bottom of the fire, but also you need to get oxygen into the fire. So as long as you get those principles correct, you've got to get wood in it. It's got to be reasonably gas tight. So you can control the fire to some extent. And it's like this. I know it needs to be able to go. I know it needs to look like the Gargoyle, to some degree, but also I need to know that the box will go into the space provided by the Gargoyle, and that the actual box will still be functioning. And also, I know that I want people to look at this and think, what the hell's going on? What the hell is he on? Oh, it's a crazy English person. Now, when we first moved here, the house, well, it wasn't really a house, it was totally inhabitable. There'd been squatters in it, we had a cow in our kitchen, so it wasn't, it was a bit of a state. So we just needed to, renovate the house as best we can. I've obviously done my workshop and various other things to keep the wall from the door so we could work. I haven't got a big pot of money or anything like that. We're very fortunate where we live. We've got a lovely house, and but we don't have a mortgage, and we don't have any debt. There's no credit cards or anything like that. I've been there, done that, had all that, and it was one of them things that just literally crippled me, to be honest. And the stress of it all, making sure the bills got paid, people's wages, and all that sort of stuff with the business. And also I got hit with that recession. 2008, 2009, it crippled my business. I used to do a lot of work for the councils, you see, and the councils have been forced to cut their costs. So they were getting they made a huge amount of mistakes. The person who took over some of my contracts, he failed. And literally, I think they took him to court in the end, and he went bankrupt, if I remember rightly. This was on the grounds maintenance side, this was. And the grounds maintenance work was very, very handy because it was regular money. That was like our bread and butter. With the councils, go around big machines, paying people to go around big machines, and then cutting grass and all that sort of stuff. And then I was going around doing the building side. And we had contracts, we were looking after properties for letting agents. Also used to do a lot of remedial works, recommendations via building control. Where people built extensions and didn't get planning permission, so we had to go in and say, they tell us what to do basically. They said, there's no footings, so we had to go in and underpin it. That is not a fun job, I'll tell you, especially when you've got poor access. I'm quite happy with that, it looked pretty cool. So let's have a look, see what it's going to look like. Right, so we've got a shoulder portion. So I'll move this mat out of the way for a minute, because it's making it all wonky. Can't have it wonky. No. Right, so I've got a bit of a mess as well, so I will have to have a bit of tidy up, I think. Not just yet. So that's going to go there like so. That one's going to go there like so. Make quite a cool thing. There you go, like that. And that leg is that one there. And that leg there is that one there. So it hasn't taken that very long, has it? Remember, I did actually I did make that leg yesterday, this one, to be fair. And then we've got the head portion, which is what we're going to do this afternoon, which will be a laugh, look at that. And that's going to go on there like that. So I'll bring the camera over just so you can see a bit better. And give you a good idea what sort of effect I'm after. No, the chair's in the way. The chair's always in the way, and it's not on wheels, so you can't just roll it out of the way. It's quite annoying, isn't it? I think so anyway. Or am I just being fussy? That is going to look cool, isn't it? That is. With that head on there as well, like so. Remember, that's going to be on top of, so it gives a bit more depth. And then we're going to have that all mounted, so that'll be cradling the letterbox itself. So, don't know where that is like that. So that's the base of the letterbox, as in the wooden base for the wooden box that the letterbox is actually in at the moment. Let's just double check I think the right distance between the legs, because that'd be really annoying if it's not. If it's bigger, that's fine. Oh my god, it's way bigger. I've got 29 there, that's fine, perfect. You know, we can always bring it. I can bring this in around a bit more if I want to. If I want it a bit closer, yeah, we can do that. Alter the shape there a little bit to suit. Or we have the legs sticking out. Don't matter. Don't matter. See what it looks like. We've just got to go with the flow. So that is going to look pretty flippin' awesome, isn't it? Now what I ought to do is, I ought to get some either some glow in the dark paint or something for the eyes, or put little LEDs in them. I won't scare people, will they? They come around the bend. Actually, that's a valid point. Actually, I just thought about that. Our letterbox, right, is mounted. Well, we're on the bend on the road. And as you're around the bend, there's a ditch on the other side there with the land drain. It takes the water away from the corner of the road because we're in the low part of the two roads converge into our driveway. Not into, round our driveway. Not round the driveway, in front of our driveway. So if it's going to be like the Wonder Bra, isn't it? They got the Wonder Bra advert where all the cars used to crash because they're looking at the billboards with the Wonder Bra. Ooh, some while ago that was. And it might be it might have the same effect. The Gargoyle might have the same effect. What do you reckon? Ooh, that would be funny, wouldn't it? So anyway, we've been going for 2.5 hours now, and I do need to make sure that this will go off. I did a stream the other day, and I noticed that the battery's run out on the microphone. I don't want it to happen. So, and also I do need to go and have a wee. Nature calls, and also I need some dinner, maybe. I need to tidy up, ready for this afternoon. So at the moment it is now, well, we're now 20 to 3 my time in France, so obviously 22 for you. So I'm probably going to restart the stream about 4 o'clock my time. It's probably about an hour and a half. Could be about an hour and a half, and I'll restart or do another stream. So you'll get a notification for that. So thank you for watching so far, and it's going to be cool. It is. It's going to be cool and bizarre. And why the hell would you do that? Anyway, let's see what you're saying first, and then I'll just click off, sort myself out. Ooh. To be fair, we're not in England. And it'd be very hard to nick actually because it'll all be mounted and stuff. So there'll be lots of fix and hold it all into place. So it's not going to be left loose like this. So you just take it off. So it'd be a bit of a job to take. And if they're that desperate to take it, well, they obviously need it. And also, it's one of a kind. If it ends up somebody's particular house somewhere, you've only got a bit of social media, haven't you? Everyone's going to know where it is. Why else would you have it otherwise? Unless I could just nick it for a laugh. So, I hope no one's nicks it. Take care, Duke. What? I hope she's been a good girl, Duke. My 2 younger kids are the same, Kit Kat. Anything like that sets off their anxiety since they're studying for exams. Take a hubby and I can watch it together. Oh. Oh, hang on. The film. Talk about the film. Yes. When streaming the Gremlins were to play, I think they probably were. Alright, so, some Mad Monk has seen it, you've seen it. Reminds me of Westminster Criminal Cabal. Yes. Yes, very much so. They protect their money over life, yep, pretty much. That's how it seems, isn't it? Oh, political on a woodwork stream. Oh, I'm bad. Oh, you naughty boy, you. Oh, you rebel. Oh, look, Kick Out, honestly, it's not... It's quite light-hearted and not... It's verging on a comedy. But it has some reality in it as well. You can imagine it being real. So I think that's what makes the film so good, really. It kind of makes you think. And also, if you've seen The Odyssey, there's a light of a... There's nowhere near like The Odyssey, because that's completely crazy. But it does... Even that makes you think, well, God, there's some reality here. I can see some comparisons. So, yep, okay then, I will go now. And thank you for watching, and I hope you'll catch up in an hour or two's time after I've done my bits and pieces, maybe had a bit of a clean up as well, and made sure I got everything ready for this afternoon and had something to eat. So, ta-ta! Ooh, oh. Right, oh, and charge my batteries up. Yeah, not just my batteries, but the batteries. Oh, look at him. Oh, so yeah, we're going to make it even better. Oh, ta-ta.